Hello everyone, Kevin from K-Tech Services, back again for another educational digitizing video. I'm working with Melco Design Shop version 12. For this tutorial, you need at least editor level, vector, or professional to do this, okay? Today's video is going to be focused on how do I edit expanded files. I'll probably do as fit on more videos down the road on more complex designs, but on this one I kind of did a couple of things here that some of my customers talk about when they get expanded files from the internet. Normally they're done in a way. To be honest, a lot of the internet files that you get off the internet are going to be pretty much for a home single needle machine. And you digitize differently for those machines versus a commercial machine. So it's a little bit to do with that. So I have this expanded file up and with the balloons that I did, and the ribbon, and then I have a running stitch, and then the name. And I get asked, oh Kevin, I love this design, but it's got a couple of different pieces I don't want. How do I go into and get rid of it? I can't just get rid of it because it's merged into another color. Well, okay, so we're going to do that together right now. So I have my DST, which is an expanded file, which and if we open this up, we can actually see that versus a wireframing file. That's another video. Check that out. Um, but so to do this in this example and stuff, we're gonna um, now these could be kind of challenging and time consuming because you're working with expanded file format versus a wireframing format. And check out my other videos that I deal with doing wireframing, and I'll have more videos as I do. But this one's actually focused on expanded. So I just want to explain a little bit that they can be challenging and time consuming on editing what you're trying to do with the file. Okay, good, because they're a machine file in a sense versus a wireframing file, and obviously they're two different entities. So, but there are different ways to actually edit and adjust it versus a wireframing file. But that's other videos. Okay, I hope I explained that good enough. So, okay, so in this example here, we got the bow and the ribbon, and then the running stitch here. So what my goal here is to split this apart and make this a different color versus the name. Okay, so yeah, I need to kind of split this apart. Okay, because right now if I turn it on and turn it off, I mean it's all one element. Okay, and I needed to split that apart. Okay, how do we do that? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click on number 4 because that's the start of the ribbon and the bow and the ribbon in a sense, and we need we can start scrolling through it. Okay, so we're going to come down here to stitches. Okay, I'm going to scroll down a little bit until I find beginning of this like 2688. With my mouse, I'm going to go and left click on that until it's blue. Okay, make sure that now that X will pop up. Okay, now, and I'll turn that on so you can kind of see here my keyboard, and I'll move that over here a little bit. Now it's gray now, so okay, I want you to notice this. It's gray. Now, make sure when you click on a stitch and make sure it's blue because then it turns this on. If it's gray and you start doing the next thing I'm going to show you, it's going to kick you out. Okay, but make sure it's always blue. So we got our X. Now with the up arrow or the down arrow, you can actually start pressing that one, and then look, hey, it's actually moving through the stitches, and that's what I want. You can actually hold that down, and it'll take off, and you can kind of get there. So where are we going? Where okay, that's a great question. Okay, so where we're going is actually right there. That's what I'm trying to get to, so I can actually split that apart. Okay, so okay, I'm gray. Okay, don't touch the keyboard. Okay, left click. Okay, and now I can actually start scrolling again. Now, on some designs, if you're editing expanded files, it could be a long stitch or a lot of stitches, let's say. And, some people are impatient, but if you can grab this a little bit and go down and kind of skip through 100 stitches if you want. But make sure you click on the stitch and make sure it's in blue or it will kick you out. Okay. I can't stress that enough. So just gonna hold this down, and we'll just as I was actually if I was sewing this on the machine, this is actually what the stitches would be doing. but I'm just going to go through this to kind of give you an example of what you're going to be doing when you're editing these expanded files. Okay, and we'll get down to here, almost there. Okay. And but I don't want to split it there. I want to split it right there. That's where I want to split it. So to do this, we go up to the object menu and then we go to split element. Okay. Now you can make a hotkey or accelerator key if you like. If you use that enough, or if you like using hotkeys and element accelerator, you could do that. Okay, and then I'm just going to click on split element. Now I'm going to go to the project view, and now number 4 is actually the bow now and the ribbon. So I can actually change that color to green, let's say. Okay, now the next step that I want to do is I want to get rid of that running stitch, and I want to get rid of the word Kevin, but I want to show you how we do that. Now, of course, we just split that apart there where I wanted to. And but right now this running stitch and the Kevin is actually one element, but we need to split that apart because maybe I want to keep the Kevin, let's say. Okay, so that's actually number 5. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click on the stitch. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. I'm going to left click on 3851. Okay, and then I'm going to use my down arrow and walk down to I'm inside the K. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to object and I'm going to go split element, and I'm going to bounce back over to project. And now that number 5 is actually the running stitch. Well, I don't want it, so I'm going to go to my delete key. Bye bye. So there you go. And if that's what I want to accomplish, great. But I could save it or sew it or whatever I want to do. But in this case, what I want to do is my goal was I wanted to get to the balloons. That's all I really wanted, and then I can actually start typeset my own names when I want to. So to do that, you can draw imaginary box, or well, actually that didn't work. But what I like to do is click on the whole element of there, and I could just hit the delete key. Okay, and then that's gone. Okay. Then I could do is I could go to my letter A, and then I can actually type in my new name or my same name or whatever I'm doing. Now, of course, this is going to be in wireframing, which is better because you can control the stitches a little bit better and the size, and it's just an easier way to adjust things if you need to versus an expanded file. So we do that, and then now we could save it as OFM, and then if I need to use this another time, I can. I can go into it and erase it and bring it up for the next time and write Cindy into it. There we go, or something like that, and then then sew that new sew that out, sew it out, because I like the balloons, but I want to keep it for something else if in case I need to use it. Okay, so the OFM file will actually will do this. Please check out my video on file formats. It kind of gives you an explanation about what OFM does and the other file formats and everything. It's a great video. It'll kind of enlighten you on things and understand why we use certain file formats over other ones. Okay. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. This was a quick tutorial on this. And everything. So I hope this helped you out, and please check out the other videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.